Ah! If you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, then you know just how much of a soft spot I have for the Ford Raptor. Heck, for a long time before I bought the LBZ, I was convinced that I was going to keep stacking pennies in my piggy bank so we could eventually scoop one up. I just love them. I love them so much. But when we look at the Raptor, it didn't just happen overnight. There are years and years of research and build time and Baja racing and all sorts of really awesome stuff that happened along the way. But what does that story actually look like?
Why on earth would you want to own a Raptor, and
what makes them just so cool? I'm Dustin with the Custom Offsets. You guys can find me on the gram at dusty.co, and today we're bringing you guys the one and only dune slang, sand slinging, factory 35-inch tire having goodness that is the one and only Ford Raptor. If you've been here before, then welcome back. Thanks for tuning in and for being a part of the Custom Offsets family. You guys have made this entire journey absolutely amazing over the last few years, and I cannot wait to see all of the cool stuff that we're going to do together in 2022, since that's really only a few months away at this point. And if you're new here, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. I really should get to Christmas shopping, by the way, because it's already like almost November. Anywho, as you guys know, we love to give back to our community, and over the last few years, we've been able to donate a ton of money to a ton of really awesome causes, from animal humane associations to 9/11 memorial funds, mental health organizations, and of course, organizations that are dedicated to helping our veterans and their families. That's why we partnered with TIS again to help the guys over at Warrior Built, who support veterans through recreational therapy like building cool motorcycles and going to drag racing events. Best part is that you guys can help us make that donation by heading to customoffsets.com/giveaway. Pick up a t-shirt or maybe a wallet or something yet. Cooler yet, not only are you helping support this great cause and getting a dope t-shirt like this one right here, but every $5 you spend is going to get you one entry to win Beast Mode, our SEMA truck, meaning that at the end of the year, there could be a 2017 F350 SEMA build on a Kelderman Air Ride lift kit sitting in your driveway. Pretty wicked. You can check that all out at customoffsets.com/giveaway. All right, let's talk dinosaur trucks. To really understand just why the Raptor is as cool as it is, we have to look way back in the history books. It starts with the one and only F-150 Lightning. Dreamed up by Ford's Special Vehicle Team, or SVT for short, the first and second generation F-150 Lightning was created and made waves in the truck market by offering a factory street-oriented performance truck. By 2000, SVT was rolling out the second generation Lightning, which put down 360 horsepower, was lowered from the factory, and packed a supercharger under the hood. Now this one is probably the most familiar because you've likely seen it in the Fast and the Furious, where Paul Walker whips this thing down the road with boxes in the bed stacked up high, full of Supra parts for his new car build. While it's an iconic movie truck, the Lightning has continued to inspire people all over the world. Heck, the guys at Hoonigan just built a Lightning-inspired F-150 with a 2J, and it's nasty. It does burnouts like freaking crazy. It's freaking awesome. Side note, if you're one of the Hoonigan guys, you're watching this video, I'm just saying, you guys love burnouts, we love burnouts. I'm gonna have my people call your people. Let's see if we can do some stuff like burnouts. While the Lightning really drilled the pilot hole for Ford's specialty truck market, it wasn't until the late 2000s that it came to light. See, in the 2000s, SVT spent much of their time on things like the Cobra Mustang, the GT350, and of course, the crown jewel, the Shelby GT500. It wasn't until 2008 that they began looking at the F-150 again. Introduced at the SEMA show in 2008, Ford came out swinging with the first generation F-150 Raptor. This big, bubble-bodied F-150 packed a punch with a 6.2-liter V8 that pushed out over 400 horsepower, had a long travel suspension system, and an all-new off-road design that would steal the thunder of every other off-road company at the show. But Ford didn't just talk the talk. They actually walked the walk, or maybe the correct term here would be that they ran the run. Allow me to explain for a second. While off-road racing may not be our forte here at Custom Offsets, there's no denying that the Baja 1000 is without a doubt one of the most grueling races of the year. Taking place in the heart of Mexico, the Baja 1000 is an off-road endurance race that claims many of vehicles each year. It's tough, it's hot, and it's so intense that even some of the most skilled drivers have a tough time finishing each year. So it's 2008, right? And Ford has just debuted their F-150 Raptor. So naturally, the best way to get that truck into the market is to send it to the Baja. And they did. They took a brand new truck that was hardly tested and sent it through the gulag, and it just plain performed. The Raptor slayed it out in the desert, and Ford Motor Company was so impressed with the truck that they've sent a Raptor every year since to compete in the race. While the first generation Raptor would be in production for several years, Ford decided it was time for a facelift in the mid-2010s, and in 2017, they would do just that. They rolled out a facelift again, making waves in the truck market, but for a very different reason this time. See, listen. This new second generation truck would lose the F-150 name and would be simply just called a Raptor, right? But that's not what makes it controversial. That's not the sauce, right?
Dexter, I don't have time. This is marvelous. What is it?
A French fry?
I know that, Ed. I'm talking about the sauce. What's in the sauce?
Under the hood, Ford opted to ditch the V8.
Get it.
Oh boy, I will get it. And then
And put the one and only 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6. Yes, you heard that right. Ford opted to drop the fire-breathing, bald eagle screaming V8 in return for 2 turbos and some fuel efficiency of an EcoBoost. The market literally exploded. People divided in a quick hurry as whether they loved it or hated it, but when you stack the 3.5-liter up next to the old V8, you'll find that the EcoBoost wins in literally every category. While the engine choice in the Gen 2 Raptor is what most people talk about, we couldn't talk about the Raptor and not mention the new styling on the second generation. Featuring sweeping lines and a much more aggressive front end, this new Raptor would usher in a second generation of off-road goodness for years to come. I mean, it's been in production since 2017. It's almost 2022 now. You get the hint. While the second generation Raptor was awesome, Ford has consistently been under the gun about their twin-turbo V6 engine choice. This was only further driven home after Ram released the TRX, which is a V8 supercharged monster of a truck that takes plenty of shots at the Raptor directly. It even has a T-Rex eating a Raptor under the hood. It doesn't get any more direct than that. Ram called and Ford answered, this time with a new variant of the Raptor R. And while much is still left to be announced about the Raptor R, what we do know is that it's rumored to be a V8 powered Raptor again. Some sources say they'll wager that the Raptor R will feature the 5.2-liter supercharged V8 that sits in the one and only Shelby GT500, which would be absolutely insane. Listen, guys, I got the chance to drive a Shelby last year for about a week, and it was incredible. The sound that engine makes is like the gates of heaven are opening, and you're being carried up through the pearly gates on the clouds. I cannot wait to see what this new Raptor looks like, and more importantly, how it performs. What do you guys think of the Raptor? Would you own one or are you not a fan? Let us know down below. I'll be going through all the comments personally, and I'm looking forward to chatting with each and every one of you. With that, I'm Dustin with the Custom Offsets. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.